Hi there, buddies. It has been revealed that BlackRock discussed its existing crypto ETF lineup and the possibility of adding an XRP ETF in the future with the SEC's Crypto Operative Group. We'll explore that today. We'll also discuss how, since Donald Trump took office, the U.S. stock market has lost an incredible $10 trillion. We'll also talk about the changes we're now witnessing and how this correction has changed the leading U.S.-made cryptocurrency. We'll also discuss the fact that an article about Ripple's intention to establish XRP as the world's reserve digital currency is still up on their official website. Regarding the cryptocurrency market itself, a sideways tendency is presently evident. The market has yet to exhibit significant signs of recovery following the drop. The rebound hasn't been particularly strong. Meanwhile, we can see that over the last 7 days, the leading altcoins have lost, on average, about 5%. Although many other altcoins are still in negative territory, with some down as much as 12%, XRP has recovered those losses and is now performing almost 0% for the last 7 days. In terms of market sentiment, a state of anxiety is still evident. Investors don't think a recovery will occur very soon. Many are even questioning whether there will be any sort of recovery in the near future. In the spring and April, the cryptocurrency market may exhibit some momentum and continue to do so. However, because summer is a season when markets don't move much historically, the market tends to cool off. As demonstrated by Ripple's XRP, which won its appeal in 2023 and was relisted on major exchanges, there might be isolated punks of specific altcoins. In essence, the SEC agreed that there is no problem if XRP is sold to individual investors. Whether it could be offered to institutional investors was the last question. As a result, XRP experienced a significant increase in July, was reintroduced to U.S. exchanges, and was once again made available to retail. In order to attempt to break out of the sideways movement that has been present since November, we would prefer to close above the $2.12 mark on the weekly period. 4 complete months have gone by, November, December, January, February, and March, and it's past time for anything to happen. Naturally, a lot of people are referring to this as the distribution phase. The charts support the validity of that opinion. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that technical analysis isn't always effective. Since indicators don't always behave as expected, it's challenging to draw firm conclusions. The ending candle of March displayed a shooting star pattern, which is often not a good indication for the majority of cryptocurrencies. We frequently fall farther after such a pattern. However, there are several exceptions. For instance, we experienced a shooting star in February during a bullish trend in 2021, but we bounced back in March and even reached a local high in April. Therefore, this can be a fake out. We might consider this to be only a fear if the cryptocurrency market keeps rising and the bull cycle holds. Nevertheless, we must consider risk and diversification. It could be prudent to hold out and see what happens if you profit from XRP. In contrast to the weekly chart, which appeared more optimistic, we regrettably closed below the trend line on the daily timescale. This implies that in the upcoming weeks, there will probably be more sideways movement or maybe a slow decrease. Remember that. In conclusion, since Trump took office, the U.S. stock market has lost $10 trillion. That might be bad for certain people, or even lucky, depending on your point of view. This result was anticipated by some. The main query, though, is whether a rebound is imminent. Things are currently becoming worse, particularly as a result of Trump's tariffs. A trade war with the rest of the globe is what this really amounts to. Additionally, this practice can spread to other nations. It's possible that nations will begin levying tariffs on one another. Sadly, the typical consumer will not gain anything from this full-fledged trade war. The cost of everything will increase. Go back to BlackRock. It has been claimed that they discussed their present crypto ETF lineup and the possibility of adding an X. It's only hearsay for now. However, if Ripple settles its disputes with the SEC and the SEC formally declares that it has no more claims, I think BlackRock might register for an XRP ETF this year. The ETF may then be seen as a reality. Cryptocurrencies like XRP, Solana, USDC, ADA, Cardano, Doge, HBR, Link, XLM, AVAX, SUI, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash are dominating the market for U.S.-made cryptocurrency. With a market valuation of almost $126 billion, XRP is still in the lead. By contrast, Solana has half that. Therefore, the top-ranking positions haven't changed yet. It's also important to note that Trump has made specific references to ADA, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP as possible options for strategic reserves. It's strange that he hasn't mentioned XLM Stellar, given how frequently people inquire about it. XLM is interestingly the only ETF for which no applications have been filed. They might finally file, but there might be a brief oversight. Given that several businesses have already applied for an ETF with HBER while having comparable market numbers, HBER now has greater promise. HBER is therefore at the forefront of that. XLM shouldn't be written off, though. The coin's accumulation pattern since 2022 is why I prefer it personally. Profiting from it was rather simple, but its future is now unclear. The daily chart indicates that a decline has already taken place and a death cross has been formed. Therefore, this design isn't really helpful right now. XLM is almost back to where it was before the November pump. There is still potential for the price to drop to 10 cents, which would represent a 50% decrease from the current level. Will there be a further drop in XLM next month or over the medium term? That is still a major question. Similar patterns can be seen in many coins, shattering support or even going back to pre-pump levels. XLM is among them. It is difficult to determine whether the decline is over. I don't see an entry point right now, but we'll need to keep an eye on the $0.225 level before drawing any solid conclusions. XRP, meanwhile, is faring far better. Unlike XLM, which sold out rapidly, it has held its pricing levels for a much longer period of time. Additionally, Ripple's objective is very explicit on their official website. The worldwide reserve digital currency will be XRP. Significantly, the volumes of the Ripple stablecoin Relust have increased by 87% to over $10 billion. Since Relust is a direct Ripple product, its success will probably have a long-term positive effect on XRP. Regarding the SEC timeframe, in 2020 they brought legal action against Ripple. Ripple mostly prevailed in July 2023. Sales of XRP to individual investors were not regarded as securities, as I previously said. Since then, the SEC has withdrawn its appeal. The SEC has actually formally abandoned its appeal as of March 2025. Since the SEC has lost or dismissed the majority of its charges against cryptocurrency companies, it is currently only a question of time. This one will probably be settled as well in a few months. Check out my Telegram channel, which has a link in the description for a weekly summary of happenings. There, I give thorough updates on XRP and Ripple. The channel always has the weekly summary of XRP news because every video I post includes the most recent development and other stuff. Stablecoins are not securities, according to the SEC. Therefore, it's probably unclear what Lust is. I posted the pertinent file to my Telegram channel. For quicker updates, please feel free to subscribe. In conclusion, the market is presently at a standstill. Many people worry that cryptocurrency might plummet in tandem with the stock market. The two markets' link appears to be waning, though. Crypto has been comparatively stable while the stock market continues to decline. It's unclear if cryptocurrency will start to decline again, but I believe the current trend is a healthy correction inside a larger bull cycle. Additionally, the media will probably spread myths like Bitcoin death cross or the market is doomed. They will attempt to incite panic, but it's possible that the market is getting ready to rebound. It might be too late for new traders to enter the market if we shortly transition from neutral to euphoric zone. For now, that's all. CryptoFacts was this. Be careful, and I'll see you later.